Across the UK. On DAB+. On your smart speaker. On your smart TV. And on your side. This is Talk.
Welcome back to Morning Glory, 24 minutes past 6. We are here, of course, all the way through until 10 o'clock. It's Friday, so don't forget we'll have some gaffs for you to cheer you up and keep you going. Morning, Mike, says Tristan in Bedford. I'm still incredibly happy with Trump winning and with a lot of Europe moving right. I hope Free Gear Kia feels even more isolated. Great show. I've always listened to you for years. Well, of course, we saw, did we not, Keir Starmer going over to Hungary yesterday. I don't know whether you noticed it, Emma.
Completely ignored.
Yeah, completely ignored. Billy No Mates, right? Everybody else got out of their limos and were embraced by Olaf Scholz or by, Giorgia Meloni or somebody, or Emmanuel Macron or Orban. And here was Keir getting out. Nobody said anything to him or did anything either. How about this from Andy in Cornwall? Not having sex with your partner, isn't that called getting married? Don't need to vote for Trump to achieve that, which is very good. And also, good afternoon from Katie in Singapore. She says she's listening this morning. There's an awful lot of funny things coming in on the front of the sex ban. Women in America claiming that they're going to protest the election of Donald Trump by refusing to have sex with their male partners. Absolutely incredible stuff. This woman, Brielle Acero on TikTok, has been vowing to remain celibate. An entire nation of men, breathes a huge sigh of relief. Yes, and she says this, right? As a woman, my bodily autonomy matters, and this is my way to exercise sovereignty over that. So I highly encourage any other women who are single and still care about progressing women's rights and still fighting for our bodily autonomy to do the same. Delete your dating apps. I mean, why is it men's fault? Why is it men who are to blame for this? What has it got to do with it? You're not going to punish Donald Trump by doing that. What you do, darling, is you go to the polling booth on November the 6th and on November the 5th and you vote. Yeah, that's what you do. You don't come back and then protest the result and then say I'm going to be celibate and delete my dating apps as if anyone cares. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely bizarre. Big story that we're going to do exclusively this morning here on Talk. We're going to be speaking to Alex Wilson from Reform. He's one of the Assembly members. I think he's one of the few Assembly members for Reform in the London Assembly. Yeah, this is what he had to say yesterday on the news, that basically the London Assembly, run by Sadiq Khan, wants to give more money, yet more money, to asylum seekers so they can have free travel on all London transport. Have a look.
We're not going to get a grip on this issue until the pull factors are addressed. It was already out of control under the last government. It's getting even worse now. More than 31,000 crossing the Channel by the 2nd of November, more than the whole of last year, and there's still 2 months to go. We are, and always have been, a welcoming country to those in genuine need. But the vast majority of those crossing are not women and children fleeing war and persecution. 3/4 are males of fighting age. And British taxpayers will reach a limit when they feel they're being taken advantage of. We saw on Tuesday in America what happens when people have had enough of their generosity being taken for granted. I know I'm alone at present in this chamber, but I'm sure if we carry on like this, in 4 years' time, I won't be.
Yeah, I mean, interesting that Alex says that. He's coming on with us later on in the show. Bottom line here is that, apparently one of the reasons that they've given for wanting to give more money to asylum seekers is that they get some money, but it's only about £8 a week for non-food related spending, which means presumably they can buy themselves, I don't know, a couple of packets of cigarettes or something like that, or they can spend it on in an amusement arcade. But apparently they have trouble getting anywhere, so now we should pay for them to travel. And they're trying to pretend that this is about travelling to appointments, necessary appointments relating to their asylum claim. Yeah. Well, I've got news for you. Like what? A lot of Londoners, a lot of people in this city need to travel to go to work, for example, to go to healthcare appointments. What about Rachel Reeves? To go to school, to just do to carry out the daily life. What about Rachel Reeves ending the £2 cap on bus fares, not in London, I know that's exempt, but around the UK? What about the threats to pensioners to have their free bus passes? And lots of them, because they're so cold at home, use public transport as a way of sitting somewhere warm on buses, on tubes. I mean, when I used to do the mid-morning show, so I used the tube in and out, basically. I come in a car in the morning because it's very early now, so I don't spend quite as much. But it used to be something like £200, £250 a month that I would spend. It's a lot of money. It is. And I only live 2 or 3 stations away. One of the big costs in London, and this is obviously not relevant for people outside, but in fact around the country, but one of the big costs in London is our public transport. I mean, the buses are cheaper, but tubes are really expensive. A couple of stops
and you're already paying, you know, £4 or £5.
Yeah.
So it is a cost, but I don't see why asylum seekers are getting special treatment.
Exactly.
There's this claim that, and most of these asylum claims go on to be successful. No, that's not how you assess asylum claims.
They go on to be successful because they're here for so long.
We're not challenging anyone, and then they go rogue.
And yeah, exactly. And also because they've been here for so long, they qualify just on being here for so long. You just go, okay, here's another amnesty, which is what Labour look like they're going to do.
And things like this, they really are a pull factor. We talk about, was Rwanda a deterrent? But when you tell people from abroad, do you know what? In the UK, in fact, in the capital city, not only do you get this accommodation...
They're already getting free food. They're already getting free accommodation.
You'll also get free travel. That is a pull factor. Of course it is. This is stupid. This is an end goal.
Imagine sitting in some horrendous, awful refugee camp on the north coast of France, in Normandy, and you're sitting there thinking, if only I had a nice house to live in, if only I had a decent hotel room. Oh, I know. I'll get that if I go to England. Yeah. And if I go to London, not only will I get a nice hotel room, I'll get fed, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
And travel around.
I will be able to be subsidised to travel and go wherever I want.
And we all know this thing about, you know, the streets of London paved with gold and everything. Yeah. Obviously, that's not true. London can be pretty grim.
Yeah.
But there is still this perception that London, you know, is a great city and there is work there and there is accommodation and there is all of this. And so I think this kind of thing is going to be drawing more and more people to the city, and we're just going to be, you know, worsening the problem.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the small boats crisis has seen the busiest fortnight on the channel so far this year. There hasn't been much wind this week. It hasn't been too cold. So more than 3,000 people actually came. 3,197 people came on the last fortnight. Busiest 14-day period for crossings in the year to date.
Mike, this is now out of control.
Yeah.
We've had 18,000 crossings, over 18,000 since Labour came to power.
Yeah.
They were the ones saying they were going to smash the criminal gangs.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing has been done. You could talk all you like about, what was it? Border Command Force with lots of, you know,
it's like Thunderbirds,
uniforms.
Yeah.
It was going to be really...
International rescue.
Yes, a bit like Starmer punching a punch bag. Yeah. Absolutely nothing in it.
Absolutely useless. And again, he was in Hungary yesterday, where Viktor Orban has basically said, we don't take any asylum seekers. No thanks, not very much, not for us.
No, thank
Poland has now banned them. Germany has said that they don't want any more. They're shutting their borders. Austria doesn't want them anymore. The Netherlands have said that we want to do away with the Schengen Agreement for free travel throughout the whole of Europe. The whole of the asylum kind of business is collapsing in on itself in Europe. And Britain is like the only country where we're saying, just come here, you'll be fine.
Funneling people through France and just having a little trip across the channel. It's an absolute disaster, and Labour are doing nothing about it.
No.
And, you know, we go on and on about, in the summer months, the crossings are higher because numbers are higher because crossings...
Well, it's now November.
Well, it's now November.
Yeah.
And yes, it's been mild, but it hasn't been particularly nice weather. They're still coming. In fact, you know, by the end of the year, it'll be absolute record highs.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. This from Stephen. He says, morning, Mike. The sex thing makes sense, as I think my wife must be paying me back for voting for Blair first time around. Stephen Middlesbrough. Love the show. If you haven't had sex, Steve, with your wife since, 2009, I think there's a bit of a problem there. You might want to go and find another wife. Let's hear from Kate, who's on free stuff for prisoners.
Hi, Mike. Kate from Leeds. I used to work in prisons in Yorkshire, and inmates get dental care free, all the dental work. They also get access to a psychiatrist pretty quick. GPs, you name it, they get it. Thank you. Good show. Bye.
Kate, thanks very much indeed. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. Free stuff for prisoners. Apparently it's easier now to get a dentist in prison than it is actually outside. 48% of people are waiting in Britain to get an NHS dentist because they can't get one. In prison, everybody gets a dentist.
This is the thing. Well, I'm still reeling at you ending the marriages of your listeners, but we'll gloss over that. Poor man. Time to get a new wife. This is the thing I genuinely don't understand, that if you're claiming benefits or in prison, if you've done the crime, it is easier to get healthcare, to get, accommodation, to get all sorts of, mental health support.
Well, you know what?
Dental care.
When they brought the smoking ban into Scotland, right, it was Jack McConnell who was First Minister for Labour. They brought the smoking ban in. You could go to prison for being caught smoking repeatedly in a pub or outside of a pub. And when you went into prison, guess what you could do? You could smoke.
Yes.
Because they didn't ban smoking in prison.
And yet, if you're working and earning a wage and contributing to the economy and paying your taxes, it's an absolute struggle.
Yeah.
And you go for a dental checkup and it's 50 quid, 100 quid. You know, if you need any dental work, God help you.
Absolutely.
Hundreds of pounds.
Incredible. Absolutely extraordinary. Emma Wolf is here. I'm Mike Graham. We've got lots more to do, including, as I said before, not only Dunkelflaut, the new word we're going to be telling you about, Gladiator 2. The new movie's coming out. Ridley Scott's sequel to the famous Russell Crowe movie. Apparently it's rubbish. They spent a bucket load of money on it. They're trying to convince us all to go and watch it, but apparently it's absolute crap. We'll tell you why. 6:34, this is Morning Glory.